check. The fresh waters are here. The smell of tall socks and short pants is in the air. High cut sneakers is here. Stag and Carib's here. Let's go!
Lauren, you better wake up. I need a jet plane to take me non-stop. I can't stay in New York City when there is sunshine and pine in my country. No baby, Port of Spain is like a big disco. At every corner you can hear a sweet calypso, and everyone happy partying while I'm freezing here in Brooklyn.
Sing!
So Lord, don't cry, I'm leaving. Don't you be grieving. I got to hear my steel bands play. See my woman's body shaking. If the bug bites you, baby, then you can come and join me in my Calypso island, grooving on somebody's woman, yeah.
I say somebody woman, yeah. Somebody woman, yeah.
Somebody's woman, yeah. Babe, my mind is made up.
It's made up.
Kennedy Airport
Must be my next stop.
Oh, don't you try and convince me that I should stay, 'cause my suitcase is
It's packed already with all my Air Force Ones.
yeah, baby. Yeah, baby.
Yeah, baby.
But if you start feeling lonely and my fever vibrates through your body, I want you to take a swift reservation, oh, and touch down in the land of Cuba. Lauren, don't you cry now. Lauren, don't cry, I'm leaving. Don't you be grieving. I got to hear my steel bands play.
I see my woman's body
Shaking. If the bug bites you, baby, then you can come and join me in my Calypso island, grooving on somebody's woman, yeah. Somebody's woman, yeah.
Somebody's woman.
Somebody's woman, yeah.
Somebody woman.
Somebody's woman, yeah.
Yeah. Play.
Fire burning, yeah. Fire burning. And that is why I know the next jet plane said it must take me back to Port of Spain.
For all the freshwater Yankees,
Where all
this is for you.
friends are waiting.
Yes.
Preparing for Tuesday morning. Laurie, don't cry now. Laurie, don't cry, I'm leaving. Don't you be grieving. I got to hear my steel bands play and see my woman's body shaking.
If the bug bites you, baby, then you could come and join me.
In my Calypso island, grooving on somebody's woman, yeah. Somebody's woman, yeah. Somebody's woman, yeah. Somebody's woman, yeah. Oh, yeah. Laurie, don't cry, I'm leaving. Don't you leave it, no. Got to hear my steel bands play and see my woman's body swing and sway. And if the bug bites you, baby, and then you can come and join me in my Calypso island, grooving on somebody's woman, yeah. Somebody's woman, yeah. Somebody's woman, yeah.
How will somebody woman, yeah. I see the fresh waters coming and the jet planes landing. Welcome to episode 170. Somebody at the Curry Shabbat podcast. Welcome back to everybody who's been listening. Welcome to all the new listeners. I played that one especially for the fresh water who told me over the weekend that nobody should be singing over Lorraine when Lorraine been sang over 100 times, man. Lorraine been touched 100 times. Don't vex with Michael Tasia, man. If Michael Tasia feels to touch Lorraine, he shall touch Lorraine. What do you do for the weekend? How you feel? Everybody feeling good? Or you dealing with the traffic? They say no rental in the country is available. If Canaval was dead for COVID, it's back. You know what I mean? Canaval clearly take the vaccine. It's right back to Canaval as we know it. Not a rental available in the island. Traffic in the morning, traffic in the evening, traffic in the midday. From the time you see Panorama reach, it's freshwater time. It's Air Force Ones and Jordans and tall socks time. And a lot of people who say, hey man, you know this talk like Trini right through. They say, boy, going down on the avenue, man. It's that time of day. It's that time of day. So, as stated, and I'm going to stop doing this because somebody said me a good little warning. They say, stop coming on podcasts and tell people where you're going to be on the weekend. So it's a mystery. I'm not going to tell you where I'm going this weekend. But I did go to the Rise and Roast, which I want to say, as I always do, salute to the Rise and Roast committee, salute to Bobby and the squad, because Rise and Roast is easily one of the best fets for the Carnival. And I had to qualify that, right? When I say one of the best fets, what I mean is it's age appropriate, you understand? At my big age, it have certain things I cannot go through. I cannot go through the experiences and the stink and dirties of this world. Salute to them because they must be great fet too. But I have done all my time in them fet. I do the customs, I do brass festival, I do fire, wasser, flower. I do all them things with tens of thousands of people. And at my big age, can't make again. Not doing it. So I like how Rise and Rose have about 75, 80 people. I don't know how to count crowds so good, but don't have a whole lot of people. It have plenty familiar faces. Way too much. Like, that remind me of going Vale vibe when Vale used to be in the Vale. Because, especially if you're from the West, if you're from the West Trinidad, you're going to bounce up everybody, you know. You went Fatima, St. Mary's, Convent, St. Joseph, what do they call it thing? Holy Name, Providence, Bishops, St. France. So everybody who, from that side, who know one another, you're going to bounce up people in that fete. So salute to them. They had a great fete and a great event. I had one complaint about it. I had one complaint about that fete. And just to give some insight into that DJ fete too, right? That DJ fete, a cooler fete. Salute to my little squad of baddies. My baddie and her baddies was in the fete. I need a man to go with me next year. I know that ain't song good, but I ain't rolling with all them said a woman again. I don't want to tell only what what the conversation was like in the car headed to Rise and Roast. It was the conversation was poor. And I'm not putting myself through that again, going in a car full of women who, when I look into talk about Trinidad football, all they want to talk about is Lester Peltier. I need some kind of brethren to be going to be going Rise and Roast without any fet. It's not to go no fet with woman alone. It's not gonna work. It ain't gonna work out. But we get there, we set up a cooler nice, we reach up early in the morning. I think fet start 3 o'clock by 3:30 we was there, so he's able to get an easy find a little spot for the cooler. And it was good. Always has some decent little food on sale. Drinks in your cooler, you cannot go wrong. That's my kind of fet now. As I said before, I think I'm retiring breakfast parties this year. Don't quote me, but I'm looking for people to have a brunch. I'm hoping that soca, because I like soca as a fet, I hope they have a brunch sometime. I tell Bobby, I say, listen, let me make Rise and Roast into already risen and roasted. You know what I mean? If they make a brunch version of the Rise and Roast, our fet starts in working hours now. I want to reach fet for 8 and leave 5 o'clock. I want to, like the fet is my work. That's my plan now. It's a little difficult on my body. And it's a little hard to recover when you see how to wake up 2 in the morning. You know what to set your alarm for to get up them kind of hours to reach in fet. Especially when in Shagona said this wasn't as big a problem as it was for me when I was living in St. James. Well, in Shagona said very, very hard. So I'm looking for risen and roasted. After you're done risen, you understand? I see Cohen Dubois. The Cohen Dubois is legendary again. Every time I say the name Cohen Dubois, I need to send apologies to Joel Poplar because he's the one who points out to me how bad Cohen Dubois is. And Cohen Dubois pointed out in Rise and Roast because he had a feeling as if Rise and Roast had less performers than it usually have. And as be very imbibed, inebriated, intoxicated, whatever word you want to use, I have a lot of that, right? So I can't really judge it, but I feel like Rise and Roast used to have more artists. And this year they had less, and they give the artists more stage on time. I feel I prefer that, you know. I feel I prefer if you give an artist like Cohen Dubois a little time on stage where he could go through plenty of his songs rather than you run on and run off with your big song for the year, right? I'll tell you, I miss Nadia Batson, my alter ego. I tell myself, I say, well, for sure, Rise and Roast go and Nadia Batson. You know what I mean? But Nadia Batson wasn't there. I had to find a fet now where I could see Nadia Batson. I don't watch the fet calendar good and see where Nadia go be and try and be there because I had to hear that, not so much a basket, but you see, every time I take a drink, I feels like whining. That's a tune. Song forever, right? And Lyrical came on. By the time Lyrical came on, like the squad of girls wasn't making it. They wasn't surviving. The squad started to fall apart and we had to head out. So we leave when Lyrical performed. Imagine that. I don't think I ever leave a Rise and Roast before the fet done, but we do that this year. But it was a great weekend. I had one complaint. And to be honest with you, I was going to call Bobby and them and tell them about this, right? Because the venue is small. The facility is small. So it has some Europe, what is called that? Porta potty. And as far as I don't know how all you feel about that, but as far as I concern, porta potty in fet is for women. You see me, I don't like to go inside them thing. And I always feel you could kind of go behind them. Man could pull up anywhere. Let me put it like that, right? Man could take it wherever they catch it. And we'll be fine. Women need a little more than we, especially. Always make out in them romper and them jumper. I see a better than Farmer Brown and jumper and romper and one piece and think, they always manage with that. Don't answer that, right? But I when I go on early in the fet, because I reach at my age, I need to find a washroom fast, you know what I mean? So I head to the washroom. And they have a dog man and a woman telling me I cannot go behind the babies, go every year. You had to go inside the thing. I say, what are you talking about? I say, well, all right. I say, like, with some time when this fet fall out, they will change this, but they never did, and they stop people from going behind the thing. And I was going to complain about that, but now I had to thank them because the security was sending you out the back gate rather than you go behind the NP. So you had to head out the fet, go on the road now and take a leak, which I mean, now in the public. And you were Rise and Roast was full too. I feel like the security make a little hustle and let in some people. I like that too, you know. I like somebody who make a little hustle. Everybody was safe, but the fet was full, way more full than it usually is. But I had to thank them in the end because when I see this unfortunate story, this thing so sad with this lady who passed away. So if you didn't see it, we're under a rock. They had a fet, I think it's Solset is the name of it, over the weekend. And a 39-year-old woman, young woman, said she gone to pee after the. I don't know if it was after the fet when they're leaving or where it is happening exactly. They say the call coming at about after 12 the morning or 4 the morning kind of thing. And this lady fall off the cliff. And the rescue effort takes so long that she ended up passing away. So I just wanted to start, not to start on a somber note, but it would be remiss of me not to talk about that, because I really did call Bobby to say, Bobby, you should have let we go behind there, but like Bobby and them take care of his safety, anything. I want to read a piece of this, right? Because the fire chief says the Sando Hill rescue was complex. Unstable conditions and poor lighting was some of the issues rescuers encountered while returning San Fernando teacher Renee Mitchell to the top of San Fernando Hill so she could be taken for treatment after she fell off the edge on Saturday night. Southern Division Assistant Chief Officer Mukari Rampasad told Guardian Media yesterday that the rescue that ended on Sunday morning, 7 hours. The rescue had ended on Sunday morning, 7 hours after Mitchell fell. It was complex. Rampasad, who oversaw the rescue, said Southern Division got the call at around 12:20 a.m., responded immediately and learned that the patron had fallen. He said they got to Mitchell within an hour of the fall. That's still very long, you know. I mean, but I suppose his point is that it was treacherous, right? He said we made contact with the person. She was unable to say anything significant or noteworthy. Land search and rescue personnel rappelled down the northern side of the hill. They found Mitchell 150 meters from where she slipped on a flat surface protruding out. Rescuers took measures to protect her spine and broken limbs. She was still breathing but in and out of consciousness, only responding to her name. However, there was little to no movement in her lower extremities. Rampasad said rescuers encountered difficulties returning to the top as terrain was unstable with trees, roots, rocks, all preventing a smooth ascent. He said they had to clear the pathway every 2 feet as they moved, as they scared the basic rescue system. They had snagged on trees. We had to clear space, package the patients onto a sked and hoist it up the face of the cliff. We faced bees inside the rocks. And listen, this damn thing's so sad. It's really very, very sad. I mean, when more you read into it, and I'm sure that the first responders would have done everything that they could have done, but the sad end to the story was that she passed away. I believe they say on arrival or soon after arriving at Port of Spain, San Fernando General. So rest in peace to Renee Mitchell. Her boyfriend was right there, and and social media is a brutal place. Sometimes it's better you don't report no news or you don't let nobody know what's going on with you, because of course I ain't gonna repeat some of the things I see in the comments, but all it could take a wild guess as to what people saying happen, right? Everybody talking about what could happen and who do what, and they need to think their investigation and all them things. I mean, sometimes also need to give families space to grieve. I know they said she had either 1 or 2 children that she left behind. The thing was so damn sad. So we want to wish condolences to her and to her family and her loved ones. Such a sad situation. And to everybody. I mean, that was sad for everybody who would have read that Sunday morning. And in the same breath, I want to thank Bobby for saving my life, maybe, you know what I mean? Because I was going to be pretty powdered trying to go at the edge of a cliff in Bayview there. Now that might not end well. So we had to continue to stay safe. The real idea behind fetting and all this kind of thing and enjoying myself is always to reach home safe, right? That's important. Now, on to the news of today. I mean, before I even get to the news of today, right, there's some things I have to take care of. Because as I say, it's freshwater week, right? Freshwaters and them who are good vacation. And what you're seeing now is the retired freshwaters. The retired freshwaters has come from Pan straight through to Ash Wednesday, right? Salute to them. That's the ones who done put on a little money, they earn their money, they're sending back money here, they might build a house or they have a little apartment here where they'll come back when they're fully retired and thing, but they have on a big gym boots at all socks. And the way is know the retired ones is they don't ever move without a hat or a cap, as them to say. And they had a rag over their shoulder, right? So you just see them in Pan. I had very good intentions of going Pan. So to my guy, I tell you about Many Faces, my Canaval partner. He really tell me we go in Pan, and I really tell him I go in Pan. But I tell you, Rise and Roast was Saturday morning, and all Pan time Sunday evening, I can't recover and I can't make at my big age 1 event per weekend, right? I don't think I could do more than one, but I didn't make it. But everything I saw from the Pan and what I like about what I see in the Pan is a lot of youths. Our youths enjoying the greens, youths enjoying the North Stand. Not so much a grandstand, right? But I feel like that's important. The North Stand is a party stand, and people bad talk the North Stand for years. I remember being in the North Stand saying, the rhythm sections have to stop. Please stop when the Pan playing. I remember that being an announcement. I remember being there when nothing used to be happening when the band playing, and the rhythm sections used to beat when a band done. Also remember the rhythm sections being the patrons to now where's paid rhythm section. Man, I love anti rhythm section. And the North standing as a vibe. So I don't know why people is be against the greens and think had to move, think had to move it. Always, they had to try some different, evolve, make it into something new every time. So salute to everybody who went down in the pan. But I want to pay some special attention. The two things that I feel we need to ensure that we capitalize on. And salute to the beardologist, my guy Reynolds, you know what I mean? Ronald ain't coming back, so Reynolds is my barber now, right? But I was by Reynolds, and the conversation by Reynolds always interesting hearing about their views about the carnival and who should get money, who shouldn't get money, and so on. And one of the things we was talking about is preserving the culture. And I feel like two opportunities we have to preserve the culture is in two events that we have that are festivals by default. One is Panorama, one is Calypso Fiesta. We should get to the point now where we accept that them is whole day festivals and everybody who go in there is like, we could make them two things into Woodstock one weekend and Coachella the next weekend without the mayhem and so on, right? But where people could go there from early. I don't understand why Pan will start 1 in the afternoon. You could start at early the morning and have it whole day into the night where we could enjoy the Pan or enjoy the ambience of a festival, even if you're not taking the Pan. Because mostly people who went on greens never see Pan. And I just want to say, go real quick before I get to what I was talking about, that they had a bunch of people who were saying that the Greens would have killed Pan and who were saying Bacchanal Road would have killed Pan. Well, you remember that discussion? But Pan passed Saturday and I didn't hear a peep. I didn't hear a word about Bacchanal Road, which was a big, big event. But so I'm not sure what we be talking about. Like we talk about these things like this so much, it's such a grand thing, like Bacchanal Road. Oh my God, these people go and kill me. Who, how? It is too big. They might have its little slumps and its ups and downs and things, but there's no one event. Pan is such a strong event and such a big draw. No one event can just kill Pan just like that. I'm interested to know if Bacchanal Road moved the time or if it's no longer an event or what's the situation. But I remember this discussion about Bacchanal Road killing Pan and I was trying to figure out like, why? Why them two things can't coexist? And if one had to outrun the other, we see which one in charge, right? So salute to the Renegades. BP Amoko Renegade, that's what it's called them now. Salute to Renegades. Renegades look like they take the first spot in the best score in the semi-finals. So salute to them. I know the information in front of all the small band and everything now. Because the other festival I come here to talk about today is Calypso Fiesta, which is in Skinner Park on Saturday, right? The brand new, improved and refurbished Cut Skinner Park. And that's another one that we could make into a whole day festival. Make it whole day. Let people go. Because that vibe was already created. It's not like you have to do any work to do that. So people don't make that into a whole day festival already. So I see the conversation around Calypso. I finished last week's episode with a Calypso by the great Marshall Montano, right? Calypso is soca. Calypso. Papaya. Listen, it's the Calypso bad. Calypso is soca, or soul of Calypso, I believe is soca. But I have a few things to talk about that Calypso this week, right? Because sure as the sun will rise, Marshall Montano is now confirmed as being part of Calypso Fiesta on Saturday. Which I think could only be great for the genre. I'm not sure what these people talking about when they say Marshall shouldn't enter that, and if you have enough money. As far as I'm concerned, if it's a Trinidadian, you should be able to enter Calypso Fiesta. That part of you already. You don't need no passport to come there. You could go there anytime. Anybody who sing a song should be able to enter that. I don't understand what the argument really is. I also don't understand this argument like Marshall is some kind of raping the culture. I don't understand it. So Marshall is the culture. Me raping what? It's confusing to me when people talk like that and say like that. I also feel like as the organizers of the event, you had to welcome something like this because if the person who is one of the biggest draws for Carnival in terms of pulling crowd, right, is not performing anywhere else but at your event, I would think that is almost like Tiger Woods being in the PGA circuit. They need Tiger Woods. I want all you to check something for me, right? Go and check the TV ratings when Tiger Woods playing in a tournament versus when he's not playing in a tournament. Tiger Woods make every golfer make more money, whether it was good, bad, whether it was winning or losing. Once Tiger Woods on the scene, it is more ticket selling, more TV rights, more endorsements for everybody. You know what I mean? A rising tide float all boat. That's what they say. I get that right? So Marshall Montano being in Calypso Fiesta as a participant, as a contestant, I should say, I find it's a very, very positive thing for all of them. But I have a caveat. Because we have a way in this country sometimes that we just take certain things too far. My grandmother used to say, joke is joke, but damn joke ain't no fun. I want to play for you a few calypso that I sing. All these songs written by the great Ken Corby. Right? I can remember them, boy. My grandfather always tell me, if you in my class or not, pick up your pen and pencil and study your work a lot. Because the clock is always ticking away, ticking away, ticking away. The clock is always ticking away. Time a play could fly. The clock is always ticking away, ticking away, ticking away. The clock is always ticking away. My grandfather never lied. And I sing, Radio Tempo, FM Stereo, 105, staying alive. Radio Tempo, FM Stereo, 105, staying alive. That was 2 of the songs. The next one, I can't remember. I win Calypso Monarch in Fatima with Radio Tempo. I get licks bad with the grandfather. The clock is always ticking away. But the man who beat me was Dwayne O'Connor. So I'm taking credit for that because there's only a monarch, a real monarch could have beat me anything. And then I sing a song a year and come second. The song was about Calypsonians. The part of it I remember the most is the part I forget when I was singing the Calypso back in the day, right? It went, names as pretty, names as, Pretty Francine Rose and Terra, relator Douglas and composer, and for those who are gone, destroyer, maestro, and executor. The song was about Calypsonians, like showing respect to Calypso. Funny, you should sing that. I must sing that in 1990 something, and look what I do it now. You know what I mean? It's prophetic. But again, my father write them songs to me and give me them songs, and I went in Calypso competition and sing, right? I write a song the other day too, because I have a special episode coming up for you with 2 people. A woman by the name of Marsha Messiah, you must hear me talk about before, from the Brooklyn Caribbean Literary Festival, who is working with authors throughout the Caribbean and put it a podcast, basically Cocoa Pod, right? I told you all about Cocoa Pod before. Go and check it out, where you hear Caribbean authors read their own stories or excerpts from their own stories in their voice. And a special guest that Marsha was able to arrange for us, right? I will keep that as a surprise for you later on in the week. But in talking to Marsha this week, I remember a song that I write for Marsha and them, for their to promote their Cocoa Pod too, right? And they say Caribbean writers, wherever they might reside, they just fly with flag rail high and do it country with pride. They get recognition all over the world. So we bring Cocoa Pod so you can hear in their own voice how their stories are told. From film down to fiction, biographies and science fiction. I say the stories of the region. Cocoa Pod, stories from Guyana. Cocoa Pod, Antigua and Barbuda. Cocoa Pod, Trinidad and Tobago. So I want to understand the points I'm making, right? Them song and them take me about 5 minutes to write, right? I must ask my father how long he take them to write them songs. But when he write them songs, the song and them must take me about 5 minutes to learn. Don't for me, I forget all of them when I went on stage, right? So when you're singing a song that say, Calypso is soca, soca is calypso, and everybody matters, that I want you to know. It sounds very similar to a lot of these compositions I make for school monarch competition, right? So while I say it, Marshall Montano, I have every right to be in there, and we should be grateful that he come in and join. I'm very, very wary of the judges in Skinner Park putting Marshall Montano ahead of some of the compositions I hear this year. I could start here. I want to see Marshall be this. This ain't right for no thesis.
Lord knows I'm tired, hear it. Protesters daily declare it. Bedlam on Nelson or Peter. When you are shut down the program. Guidance from Queen Street to Charlotte. When they hot and ready to riot, whatever we do, like they what we thief. Once I'm facing adverse conditions, prime is their fallback position. And to this mindset I just fall. Good grief, good grief. Cause I remember back in the 90s when they killed for Michael Hercules, shoot the famous prison commissioner. The mother say she boy was a hustler. But for crimes like murder, there is no good reason or rhyme. Poverty ain't no damn excuse for crime. No way, poverty is no excuse. You don't ever win but lose. But with upward mobilization, nothing beats good education. Next time a youth man say it, hit him a slap one time.
Yes, poverty is no damn excuse for crime.
No way. Go tell your picnic them.
One space gone for Marshall to reach the finals here, right?
Oh boy. Some youth men down on the breadline. Same song they sing and then rewind. Don't care for white pepper that. Tell them to walk they want that. To your face they will hiss first right. If see people only miss out a fortnight. But they what we do, how they what we eat. It's that self causing the problem. Boss man run the bread is the anthem. Boss it measure and gnashing of teeth. Still I remember Michael Hercules when they killed him back in the 90s. The mother said it wasn't murder. She son was just seeking a dollar. For many of us who broken, who don't have a cent or dime. Poverty ain't no damn excuse for crime. No way, poverty is no excuse. So when is your time to choose? Instead of shooting and looting, my pot and my lot still recruiting. Tell them youth man chant it before our next judgment time. Poverty ain't no damn excuse for crime. So hear me now. If you're starving to death with nothing to eat,
That is no excuse.
when them vendors get chased off the street,
That is no excuse.
unemployment line, you can't get a job.
That is no excuse.
Why, if you're struggling inside in no money club,
That is no excuse.
broke and to thief, you ain't have a cent.
That is no excuse.
Yeah, mind your picnic, can't pay your rent.
That is no excuse.
If life giving you a really hard time,
That is no excuse.
poverty is still no excuse for crime. Take a look at Miss Oprah Winfrey. Grew up in abject poverty because of drive and ambition. Today that same Oprah with billions. And over 74 years ago, a little black boy born in Tobago. No shoes on his feet, walked from miles to school, real cool.
Who's this?
Never knew the lap of luxury. Catch us and hard grind was the story. But today, as our PM, he rule, he rule.
All right, wait. Karen, who? Karen. Salute the great Karen Asher, right? One space gone, but you see that it was going good. No, she said Oprah Winfrey. You know what I mean? Oprah Winfrey come from power. I like that. But you see when you go to Tobago, they instead of talk about PM, I'm worried again. I'm worried again. But salute to Karen Asher. Space go. I want to see because many years I hear people say Marshall went soca monarch and they gave him 6 million, they gave him 2 million 3 years straight or 2 years straight or whatsoever it is. I want to see all they plot up this for Marshall here because if I see organizer this Marshall don't make the final already, let me be clear. Because what I'm gonna do is put up my ratings and make sure that people do. But I don't see how that song no, that is not a good song. But I think we compare apples and oranges. But I mean, Karen, take out that verse when you go skin up, right? I mean, use a season campaign. Now. When you put that, you go look him down in the next verse or something because clearly it's an happening. But as we done talk about PM already, let me say Rhonda Dowlat here say PM hints at retiring. Wade Mark says good riddance. Why wait Magnum good riddance himself? Anyway, Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley has hinted at possibly retiring from politics soon. Is it the first time I hear this sense or I hear this before? He indicated this during his feature address on Saturday night at the opening ceremony of the newly refurbished Balize House at Tranquility Street in Port of Spain. Rowley, who spoke about the People's National Movement onward and upward movement since inception in 68 years ago, indicated that he may be leaning towards retirement. Is a dangerous lean you're putting on our rollers. And about 8 years worth of lean if I counted right. Before Rowley's speech, his colleagues who spoke before him mentioned Rowley's long-standing involvement in politics and that they would like to see him lead the party in next year's general election. Next year? Oh yeah, general election is next year. Wow. In next year's general election, as far as 2030 and 2035. Loyalty ain't no damn excuse for crime. However, in responses, Rowley said, "My wife retired at the end of last year and he could imagine how much pressure I'm under to come home and meet my other family." What? I read that wrong word. Let me take my time. My wife retired at the end of last year, and you could imagine how much pressure I am under to come home and meet my other family. Salute to you. Confession good for the soul. So when these fellas get up here and talking about next election 2030 and 35, they're not speaking for me. I spoke for myself already. Weighing in on the PNM political leaders' remarks, political analyst Shane Mohammed said that he thinks succession planning is already in motion in the party. But who they go put? It's already in our face and we haven't recognized it, The structure of the PNM, it's in the structure of the PNM itself, the hierarchy and the PNM executive, there's a clear indication of succession planning and succession pathways. Shane Mohammed, you're young, you don't know really get it. The successorship planning has already been put into motion in light of the Prime Minister's initial conversation with the nation about him retiring from politics. He also said that this would be his last term as Prime Minister. I think he said that last time. He's indicated several things, and if you look closely into the PNM, he has made movements that indicate there are various succession pathways that can be explored depending on his approval or blessing. I don't think that's how it's working either. Shane, you just say a bunch of nothing, Okay. Former General Secretary of the PNM, Ashton Ford, when contacted yesterday, said that based on his knowledge, the party allows its constitution to take its course. In terms of succession, the party's constitution comes into play and that determines the leader. Anytime it comes down to a replacement, the party's constitution comes into play. And until the constitution has been changed, when I was General Secretary, it was one man, one vote. That's why I don't know nothing more with your blessings. But I guess whoever he bless, no man curse. PNM stalwart Freddie Ferreira also said the party will have to decide if the nomination will have to come from the party members. Listen, I fed up read this now. I really come to play Kaiso. If a Skinner Park, good night. I come here to hear me. So while I'm not sure how in a Kaiso like that, Karina she reached 74 years ago and so on, but I hear him talk about no more political calypso. I have a calypsonian to talk about who might be singing no calypso at all, because when I hear the first thing I see about the March Gras or Calypso Fiesta, or Calypso semifinals as we would say, is no Cro Cro and no chalk dust. But I'll tell a little why in a little while that it looked like Cro Cro in there. Cro Cro busy. Or maybe he should have write something fast. I think the prize money this year is $500,000 for the Calypso monarch. You could have get Cro Cro that, man. Marshall will let us step down, Karen. I should get Marshall that Cro Cro space now. Let Cro Cro get you money to pay off your bills. But I would like to play, to balance off the PNM-ness of the end of that last song, I would like to play a song by a friend of the show.
Woman in the road, woman.
This thing is called for balance.
Woman in the road, coming down. Woman in the road, woman in the road, coming down. Let's get on the road and tell them it's the return of the woman. Woman in the road, woman in the road, coming down. I said to send them demon for me, send them by the thousand. Woman in the road, woman in the road, coming down. Well, kill enough of them that I went back separate to rock back and retire. But tell them me ain't joking, the war was soaking. For all who still going haywire, I had to resurrect the war. Come here joking, oh no, the war was so
soaking.
Mr. Pretty Boy Lawyer for San Fernando.
Who's so?
Not because they reach out for you means we forget all this shadiness with you while you watch behind the AG desk. And it's far too much. You answer yet?
What?
That's why you're getting licks, relics. A ton load of licks for trying to bamboozle we with all them legal gymnastics. Yes, you're getting licks, relics, endless licks. Well, let me tell you clearly why you can't escape this. When the Ram Goat AG hit with section 34,
yes,
I recall your voice as one of the loudest in opera. So how come when you give me your own encore with double G and paragraph 4?
What?
You and your belly said crew and that just ignored all your mother want licks, relics that deserve licks. You and your sycophant hypocrites could vex me a business. I come to inflict licks, relics, endless licks. It's a more to add to the list.
What?
Me a finish.
I know the end list.
What about the Christian lawyer and he gone delay posse with the COVID curfew party on board the not guilty. What's illegal gun and ammunition? Touch the police holding down woman, but you find them a break no laws or regulation.
Not one.
Well, here now, man. Licks, relics, licks all in your craw. Since all you have big shot law, different from law for the poor. You deserve more. Licks, relics, a ton load of licks. Since you figure you could bless man with stupidness, I'm gonna be pelting blood, flinging blood, sharing blood, bringing blood from your head straight down to your toes. Kinds of what the beat of God clothes. It's musical, lyrical, kinds of blood. Your folly tricks will get exposed in the land with the return of the woman. Oh Lord, woman in the road, woman in the road, coming boy. Send them smart man to me, bring them by the million. Woman in the road.
That's how to be the end. It can't no more. That's the end, right? Still going?
Because I lay low for a while, some of them feel it's a friggin' poppy show. But tell them me ain't joking, the war was soaking. 10 years ago I warned them I'm fighting for this guy I love Trinbago. Remind them me ain't joking, oh no, the war was soaking. That's why I fed up by you, Grey Goose gangster granny. You refuse to put country before party, before you resign, so you and your hussy could play na-na-na-ni. You reciting Trinidad lyrics like your name Princess Swanee. So you're getting licks, relics, a ton load of licks. Since you want to teach the public how to load matic and empty clip. Yeah, cake stick, licks, relics, endless licks. Well, let me tell you, lady, why you can't escape this. Pure failure as we first female prime minister. Cause your tenure was corrupted and sinister. You do a disservice to all women, cause child marriage you never condemn, and human sex traffickers in your party you defend. You wicked old hen. Licks, relics,
You cannot say that.
less licks. Since your party overrun with pimps, bandits, and rapists. Hold this. Licks, relics, a ton load of licks. It a plenty more crookedness. Me a finish.
Still?
A criminal kleptocracy is what you leading. Racism and hypocrisy you overseeing. You totally unfit for purpose.
Yes.
Wrong we neck like an albatross. And about a million election in a row you done lost. You ain't see you's a cross. Licks, relics, endless licks. Only mama guy and gimmicks does leave them rum soak lips. You getting licks, relics, a ton load of licks. Since you insist you have no morals or ethics, I'm gonna be pelting blood, flinging blood, sharing blood, bringing blood from your back straight to your front. Guys don't want to blaze you.
Hey, you cannot say that. You can't say that. Salute to the great Mr. Shaq. Marshall, 2 spot gone. A matter of fact, if this was the Calypso monarch, I say Paria Marshall get with. Licks, relics. Let me read the thing where I come to read it. This is from Michelle Lubon, Marshall Eyes Calypso Crown. Marshall, let me talk to you for a minute. Decked in his professor's robes and motorboard, soca superstar Marshall Montano performed Soul of Calypso at the Divas Calypso Cabaret in Little Carib Theatre on Woodbrook on Thursday night in a bid to be selected for the Calypso Monarch competition, right? Well, it worked. When Montano was announced, there was loud applause, and after his performance, another lusty round of applause ensued. I wonder if Marshall planned out a little encore verse something. A long time he didn't go Skinner Park, you know. I wonder if he had a little verse for Skinner Park to get him. Scores of adoring fans took selfies and congratulated him. He even reminisced on his late visually impaired music teacher, Ashford Joseph of Sipario, to whom he had dedicated his honorary Doctor of Arts degree at the University of Trinidad and Tobago. Graduation ceremony at UTT O'Meara campus in 2018. In 86, Montano 12 won hearts when he sang the classic Too Young to Soca, which he also sang on the Dimash Grass stage. I wonder where he come then. Montano's Panoply includes Fast Wine, One More Wine, and Mr. Fett. Montano was accompanied by his wife Renee Montano, who was also in the audience during his performance. Pressed for an interview, Montano said no comment, maybe not right now. Chiming in, a gentleman who claimed to be support staff at the tent said he doesn't want to comment yet. Marshall wants to be sure he's in the semis. Well, yeah, sure, he's in the semis, right? The semi-final of the Calypso Monarch competition, dubbed the Acid Test, will take place on Skinner Park on February 3rd, and Marshall is inside. Glad for him, you know. Glad for him. And he almost have an automatic run into the final. I want to make that clear, right? Because if I throw in this, Marshall done in the final already. Only go catch me on a marketing thing, right? Only make sure that we take care of marketing and we take care of business and we take care of next year first. But I'm not seeing the world where that song, as good as the song is, I keep it. I want to maintain that it's a very good song, nice lyrics, nice melody, and all that. But when you compare it to what Shaq just put out there, what Shaq put out there is not for no thesis, right? That is not kind of for a professor to go and read and grade, right? That's for Skinner Park to grade. So they say it will be a Calypso Fiesta without the mighty Chokdas and Cro Cro as the Trinbago Unified Tuco amongst the 41 semi-finalists on Sunday. Chalky, as he's fondly called, lost his wife last year and will not be able to participate in competitions. Respect for the and condolences to you. Among them is Guardian Media sports reporter Caston Cupid, who made the semis for the third consecutive year. So all just CNC3, all just put in all your partner. I'll just make sure, all right, okay. Soca star Marshall Montano, who's on a break from soca this year, is also among those headed to Skinner Park. NCC chairman Gypsy, Aaron Duncan, Terry Lyons, Karina Shea are also among the semi-finalists. So Marshall is there. Marshall make the finals. Salute to him. I'm really glad for the brother, you know. I'm glad he get through. I'm glad he there. I'm glad he chose to use Calypso as his thesis, because if you don't know, any degree you're doing, you have a choice to make as to what you do for your thesis. So he had to carefully think about what he wanted to do for his thesis. And I mean, as he said in his song, he could have easily do soca, he could have do fetting, he could have do promotion of shows, you know, several different areas, but he chose Calypso to acknowledge the grounding that Calypso is for everything else that we do in this space. And I had to salute him for that. But as much as we salute for that, can I play a second song by Mr. Shaq that even if he changed his mind Saturday, Marshall could still run second? Shaq, if you feel sorry for him.
In this brutal world, with its high-speed existence, most of us set we sight on the own program, where the human soul run low on compassion and patience. Do we really check for the lives of we fellow man? See, it's only after we lose some soldiers we might learn they had the world on their shoulders. Maybe if we slow down and take time to be more human, we will see amongst us the ones who might need a helping hand to stay strong and hold on. So let me take time to check on our brethren. You gotta make some time. I say to check on our sister. Check on the sister. Cause on we could never determine. We could never know. The weight of the tribulations they taught him. Oh Lord, so just take time to find some brethren. You gotta make some time. love opposition could eliminate guilt and regret. Oh yeah, yeah. And make a world of difference between life and death. So take some time today. Take time to just check on the bridges as you go along your way. Oh yeah. There's a real absence of human connection that's natural. So life has become synthetic and fleeting. From intelligence down to sugar could be artificial. Till somehow we can't even tell the real thing. So now we follow us and we friend lists. More significant than actual friendships. We keep living life in social media context to paint pictures of instant happiness. But there are pains like sun emojis, gadgets, or surprise. So take time to check on a veteran. You gotta make some time. I say to check on a sister. Oh no, no, we could never be certain. We could never know what demons they're battling behind the curtain. Oh no, no, so just take time to find some aggression. You gotta make some time and love opposition. Could be the only sign that they get. Oh yeah, yeah. To truly make the choice of life over death. To the bridge we go down. When our souls in distress, lost in its own wilderness. The love and concern of one good friend could prevent mental mayhem and help emotional confusion to end. So then we take time. Bidi-bidi-dum-dum-dum-dibim, bidi-bidi. Make some time.
Take time. If you feel sorry for him on Saturday and you feel you could change up your song, I don't want them in the finals for sure. Salute with Sasha. Our next man to talk about, because you know the sarcasm and the little remarks and everything that passed when they see the great Marshall Montano in the Calypso arena. I could understand people who dedicate everything they had to Calypso and fight with it. You know what I mean? When the crowd's down, the crowd's up, they have an offering every year. They go on Skinner Park, they get robbed, they get loved, they still they're behind it and pushing it year round, right? So I could understand why people feel, you know, all of a sudden, this man had thesis to write, he come in the arena. Now it could feel like if somebody taking away something from you. But I was very, 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 very surprised to hear a complaint from our contestant that I seen on the list. I want to get the contestant name right because me never know the man right name. Sad. I only know the man has one name, but I want to tell you that the brother right name is, wait, go on. I only know I can read so well. I only be out with my eyesight set up. Richard Rajkumar. I was very surprised to hear Richard Rajkumar when he come to congratulate himself and feel good about reaching his semi-final, as he should, because he deserved to be there, right? I was very surprised to see him go through the list and congratulate everybody. Say, well, bad John Calypso, Kurt Allen, good to see you, Karina Helen Francis, always having something nice, you know, Heaven Charles, you old Snakey in the mix, you know what I mean? It's nice to see these fellas in the mix and thing. God Sinclair, salute God Sinclair. From I-95.5, half of the Iron Dependency, Gat and Natasha program. I love what he stand for, I love what he do. I love how the man is exercise every day. So I always watch Gat Sinclair, how hard he training and how little I am as inspiration, right? So I'm glad he in Skinner Park. I assuming this is his first time in Skinner Park. So imagine Richard Rajkumar complaining. Oh, he didn't complain. Let me don't lie. The man went down the names, and when he reached where Marshall is, he kind of look and see who, and think he had. We know who you're talking about. But for those of you who don't know, Richard Rajkumar is a man by the name of Chromatics, the big bad Matics, one of the greatest, legendary artists in Trinidad and Tobago. If you don't know Chromatics, right? Chromatics is one of the men keep the hip hop movement above board. The Trinidad hip hop movement above board for a long time. He was deep in the hip hop. Salute to Spot Rushers and my guys in Spot Rushers would have been originators there. But Chromatic's been around a while doing several different genres of music, right? He do little kaiso before he do soca, but he's a rap man. So I find it a little ironic and a little strange that somebody like Chromatics who go in and say Calypso semis could be, you know what I mean, making or something about Marshall being in there. I feel like two all in the same boat. But having said all that, the man had one of the baddest songs for the Calypso, and he shall be, well, let me don't say too much as shall. Now he ought to be in the finals. Let me not call him shall. He ought to be in the final with this song because, as he always does, the man know how to put together music, and this is in hip hop, whatever genre of music he's saying. He know how to make the little double entendre and make it think and hide thing inside certain things. Apparently something that some people forget, and it costs them at $250. It costing them right now. Instead of calling people name. I remember, please go back to my episode with Mr. Shaq talking about the Bois Man song, the original Bois, right? And isn't breaking down how he write this song. He was very clear to say, I never call nobody name any song. You know what I mean? Anybody who put name to it, you put the name to it yourself. And you could see he skillfully do that in the Return of the Bois this year too. A salute. But Chromatics is a man who's do that all the time. He used to do Carnival wrap-up every year. He still, do you still do Carnival wrap-up? I don't know if he still do it, but I know you'll get one this year, celebrating his own trip to Skinner Park. And if I have any say in it, his own trip to the final too. Because the song's so well-crafted and put together. I could get a slice of it.
Carnival time has just had too much fat boy that boy.
I say so.
I was a string throwing one down so, and our next brethren throwing one up so. Why can't I go all? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, what is going with them, man?
Tell me.
Listen. They want me go to party. Yeah, they want me come to party.
They want me go to party.
They want me come jump up and misbehave. Want me wave flag all up on the stage. They want me come to party. One Carnival Friday, boy, it was pain. It had two fed, they want me lime in. One down in Central, one up Port of Spain. Both of them happening the same time in. And it causing a big problem, cause me and the two promoter is friend. Me boy from Tobago, I know since when. And me girl in Central lose my resistance. Me girl say, come down, it go be nice. Gary in the dance, so security tight. Me brethren say, pass through, it go be vice. But you're only getting in with special invite. She tell me that the space as you're coming in jam, cause she having a big tassaban. Me brethren sit down as you reach the session. Laugh until rhythm section beating ram pam 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 into party. To party. Yeah, they want me go to party.
I want to understand what could be happening in Skinner Park with this.
They want me come jump up and misbehave. Want me wave flag all up on the stage. They want me come to party. To party. Well, if you see the two of them start to make mass claiming who better talking pretentious, fighting each other for my attendance and all of that. Still have no preference. If you go with fetchy, say you go learn. He ticket price high but nothing in return. My brethren say, boy, my dance does be packed. But don't go down by she fed full of jack. As you know, fed up tongues be better. We have the 1% of investors. She say, boy, don't let him all talk ya. Don't in my fed run flowing like water. If I try to go boat it go be pressure. Go hard, I go home and take a refresher. Both of them don't use response to re-enter. To come in the fetty after red up your finger. They want me go to party. To party. Yeah, they want me go to party. To party.
I want to bring out a new party. A new party. Only bring out a new party. A new party.
Well, up to now, I still can't decide. No matter how much them want me inside. Ladies never throw party where I reside. And there's only check for me wrong Carnival time. But somehow I feeling like I go miss one. Tell me he fed crime don't exist. One say she could get all my business fixed. I know she has support from the biggest artist. Still he say that he have the biggest fed. Ticket price rise twice and no riot yet. And how she's go by small promoters and work out a deal on the side for people to turn out. Then she tell me, boy, boy, don't drive up the road, cause you might dead from dodging pothole. It's when he turn around and tell me she party cold, and the woman down there can't handle the pole. She said they go box you, tax you, never kick back you. Oh, in hindsight, your safety is not a factor, so tell it to one them, leave me alone. I hugging up my wife and I staying home. They want me go to party, to party. Yeah, they want me go to party, to party. They want me come jump up and misbehave. Want me wave flag all up on the stage. Yeah, they want me in to party, to party. Yeah, they want me go to party, to party. Yeah, they want me come to party, to party. They want me come jump up and misbehave. Want me wave flag all up on the stage. They want me come to party, to party. Hey, dumba dum, haduba dum de, dumba dum, haduba dum de, dumba dum, haduba dum de, dumba dum nuga dum de, dumba dum, haduba dum de, dumba dum nuga dum de, dumba dum, haduba dum de, dumba dum nuga dum de.
To a party. The women go to a party, but I really want a new party. Well, you see, when I say crafty, and again, don't get tired, because if this is man assuming, I want to say, I'm pretty sure that's the first time in Skinner Park. Right? If I'm wrong about that, I'll go correct that next week. But don't let that fool you. Like if he's some new person to a stage, right? He is a performer. And he know the culture, he know the art form, and he know what Skinner Park is, right? So definitely a contender. Definitely, again, I would love to see Marshall again. I'll play Marshall again before I go in. But I'm not seeing a world where Marshall's song beating any of these songs that I play so far. I don't think it happening. But only know how that go, right? Only don't know how you know. Only know how the thing is going in this country. Again, for marketing purposes, if it had 8 spaces, last year winner was Tazia O'Connor, right? So if that 8 plus him, he done inside already. I know Marshall, we fighting for the next 7. What you got this year? 12 or how much of them they're going to do? Because everybody else in this competition, I feel they're pretty sure that they're fighting for the rest of spot after Tazia's spot and Marshall's spot, because both of them in the Savannah for sure. That's not that's not happening. So could I go on to from a man who typically salute to Chromatics again, salute to everybody on our radio. I can't remember the damn radio station, but salute to them. Right? So who Chromatics is beyond and thing, and Chromatics understand the local landscape and understand the scene. So I hope to see somebody. I think seeing people like him in the finals is what's going to make the difference in where we talk more calypso and it's stalling and it's thing and it's getting boring. Having people like him in there. Not saying he's a youth, you know what I mean? He's probably we age, but he have a youthful energy and a youthful way of putting together songs. And if you're looking at all these youths who in Panorama playing for Despas and Renegades and all them things, and also Despas, what going on? I don't understand. What going on? Despas want some arrangement. Somebody help me. But all these youths who in Pan and making a resurgence in Pan because all of them are going to support their friends or to play or to learn or to be around it or to hang out on Lime. There's exactly what we need in Calypso. And people who bring in a different element to it than just simply, if you continue to do what I like to do and say, Calypso is soca and soca is Calypso. And if we continue making song like this, nobody go know. I'm not saying that the song ain't good. The song good. I don't see it beating Chromatics or no day. But I want to move from Chromatics, a man of many, many double entendres and hidden lyrics. And you can see how nice he construct the two-party, well thought out, well researched, right? If you listen to the song, you're hearing all the issues coming through in the song. I want to go to a man now who I'm not sure if he ever used to do that. I'm not sure. I'm trying to think of songs from this legend, an icon in my books, right? A legendary. I'm trying to think of songs that he's made over the years that have good double entendre and thing, right? But when you think about it, he's a man who sings very direct, right? He sang a song. There was one time that people were complaining and saying that young African children not doing well in the studies and in the exam, and they're not doing well in school, and the grades going lower and lower. I guess it's a precursor to what we're seeing today with crime, right? But you're seeing young children not doing well in school, and they're not studying their schoolwork, and their parents are living in broken homes and all those kind of things. And then there was a story, what I consider to be a very uplifting story, about a young East Indian child who had no arms. Whatever the condition was, she didn't have arms, and she did the common entrance exam. She studied her work. She was allowed to, use her foot and use a pencil and a shade and so on. And she passed for her first choice. And if I know she passed for her first choice, but I also think that she got some like awards in the common entrance because she did so well. And I find that was such an uplifting story, a very, very uplifting, feel-good story, thing to inspire you. I always feel inspired when I see things like this. I say, well, if that person could do so well with the quote-unquote limitations they have, I need to do better with my time and, advance and do well, That's the kind of thing that I could take my son now and I could show my son now doing common entrance. I could carry that and say, Zachary, look at this. They have somebody here, look at how you feel if you have no arms, and this person could still persevere and do well. So don't study your obstacles, Don't study the things in your way. Go for your dreams, no matter what you want out of life. But that's what I would do with a with a story like that, right? But he instead say, African children playing the fool, cut off their hand and they go do better in school. I'm not sure if I could think of many Cro Cro songs where Cro Cro was, a good double entendre, man. And he's a great writer. So it stands to reason that he had no intention to hide nothing in none of his songs. Again, I love him, I love the guy. I find he's a 4-time Calypso monarch. And if I'm a 4-time Calypso monarch, I would take that and I would say, look at me. Like what Karina Ashe say, I come from not much. I, as a man, didn't do good in school. I come up and was able to find my way in Calypso, and I get inspiration from Sparrow and inspiration from Chalk, that's something. And I entered the competition. I was frightened the first year I went up and I went up there and I win my first crown in the 80s, you know what I mean? And I take that success and I build it in the 10th, and I come up here now and I win 4. And if I could do it, you could do it too. That's what I would take a story like that and make into that, you know what I mean? Because I find it such an inspirational thing to see Cro Cro. He say, you know what I mean? Me the best looking as a short man. They try to fight me down and come up and I still get through. You could do it too. That's what I would do with a story like that. But you know what Cro Cro do with that story? Cro Cro make a song and he say, have some respect for the fucking king. He's not the best. He had no intention to hide. He's not that kind of guy. I remember one time, if it's not Calypso Monarch, it's Soca Monarch, where he jump up on the bonnet and he can't perform. He say he done win that already and jump up on the car. That's the kind of guy he is. Again, love his music. I always go back to what I feel to be one of the greatest Calypsos written, where he say corruption in common entrance. I would go again, he say, I ain't thinking vile, and I ain't trying to protect my child, but corruption is a constant annoyance, going on far too long in common entrance. Your son don't have to be intelligent, that is a lie. Your father must pull a good string with complexion high, and if you done so, you got ball one from Lavanti, forget whole names, convents, and bishops, and Steve. Nice put together thing, right? He say, then he go to say, because you had to pick Lakadeo, Buddha, Krishna, Maharaj, because Arjuna and Saj, father have big garage. Try to be Suni Muni and Pulmani, the brother, sister, son, and Narwani, Hadid, Montano, Sabga, and Abraham. They pick so much big shot children, they get jam. And when they full them big shot schools right up to the neck, they send all the poor ones in the junior set. Too much high class in the class. Tra-la-la-la-la. But in that same song, the Minister of Education was panting them time. He said he had to tie panting to a rope and to rub him down with honey and put him in an ant's nest and pop his neck if they send a next black child to junior sec. The man is a crude songwriter. Again, one of my favorite calypsos. When you see you going somewhere, don't tell nobody. He say when you're traveling, is it pa pa ba da ba da pa pa ba da ba da pa pa ba da pa pa ba da ba da pa da 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 pa pa da. That's the kind of song now when you see you go on in Skinner Park with them kind of thing. It's destruction, and no man frightened to come after you, you know. He said, I swear to God, the next time I leave in, I ain't telling nobody nothing. I learn my lesson and I learn it well. Next time I go in, I have nobody to tell. Because from the get-go, they hear Cro Cro leaving. Man, woman, and child, they keep bringing something. But these people they care about me. Is carry this and that for their family. Carry the 6 Panadol in case my big son's sick. Carry this green parrot on the stick. See, Gobin daughter, you can't forget her. Give she these few bottle of Cuchilla, the 6 dry coconut, carry it for granny. The pawn in the foil is for Uncle Harry, and my little nephew, the one that's play man. Don't forget to give him this 10 pan. They bring a greasy paper bag, pack up with roti, some diapers to get a little baby, some pastel cuckoo and chili baby, and a yoke they wouldn't get for a sharp TV. 6 suitcase I have now, your boy in rail train. They going back to cut sugar cane. I telling you plain I can't take this train. Next time I go in, nobody ain't gonna know again. Kaiso, I think I drop in this thing saying Kaiso. A man who could write Kaiso like that. If he wanted to write in double entendre and thing like chromatics and shack and them, he could have do it, but he don't want to do that. He wants to sing direct. Somebody had to remind me of a Cro Cro song where I double entendre and thing, you know, because I don't think he is of that. So, unfortunately, he might have gone a little too far late down in his career in his directness in writing Calypso and find himself in some hot water. This is from Ricky Ramdas, right? Calypsonian Western Cro Cro Rollins has been ordered by the High Court to fork out $250,000 worth of compensation to businessman Inshan Ishmael for defamation of character. The defamation took place when Rollins performed one of his songs titled Another Sat Is Outside Again on a stage during a competition in February 2023. In the song, the 4-time Calypso monarch, the 4-King King, in the song, the 4-time Calypso monarch Rollins referred to Ishmael as a thief from Bamboo Village, Valsain, who was selling stolen car parts. In delivering the 45-page judgment yesterday, Justice Frank C. Prasad found that Rollins had overstepped the boundaries of free comment in the particular verse of the song. While ruling in Ishmael's favor, Judge C. Prasad also dismissed some aspects of the businessman's claim, stating that Rollins had all right to respond to earlier and specific comments that Inshan Ishmael had made regarding celebration from members of the Beatam community when fellow residents Kareem Marcel qualified as an attorney. In addition to his having to pay damages, Rollins was also directed to bear Ishmael's legal cost. I could only imagine what that is like. Ishmael had also sued Court, but that aspect of his claim was also dismissed. Ishmael was ordered to pay the legal costs incurred by the non-profit organization in defending the claim. I guess so your 250 is a wash then. Maybe you should just let Cro Cro get caught that money. In the lawsuit that was filed by attorney Richard Jagasa, Ishmael claimed that because of the lyrics he was being viewed as a criminal. Is it? Really? Because of the lyrics he was being viewed as a criminal, a racist and a thief. Oh Lord, I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. During the course of the trial, Rollins testified that he was singing of no one particular, but was simply pointing out some of the unlawful acts that were being committed by business people in this country. Really? Maybe you should go to Chromatics and Shack School of Songwriting. However, in his ruling, Justice Sipa said while Rollins did not make actual mention of the name Inshan Ishmael, did he not? Inshan Ishmael, in the song, he eventually admitted during a radio interview after the claim was filed that he was in fact singing about Ishmael and was able to clearly disguise Ishmael's name. So, if you remember this issue from the beginning, right? He sang the song. Inshan Ishmael says about him, Cro Cro, and he filed an injunction, which I believe the court had granted the injunction. And then Cro Cro went ahead and sang the song and perform it again, which I'm sure would have been the aggravation of the court. But let me read on further. It says, dying art form. In his ruling, the judge opined that the art form of Calypso was a dying one, and this was possibly because members of the public were no longer willing to spend their hard-earned cash to attend Calypso tents, where they may feel insulted by lyrics. This is a personal statement from this judge. This is a personal statement from this judge, because this is a statement that I have heard from many Indo-Trinidadians or Indian people who are going to the tent and decide that they're not going to the tent to be insulted by Calypsonians. This is a statement that has come from, you talk to people in here. And Cro Cro was the main proponent of this. They say, but why I must take my hard-earned money and go, and this is entertainment, to go and sit down with somebody insulting me and making me feel uncomfortable? Because you could argue whether Cro Cro lyrics racist or pushing racism or not, but one thing you could say is that the song's divisive sometimes. Not I mean, if going away to come back is a nice, I like that. But a lot of his songs very, very divisive. He's take very, very hard lines in songs that is contentious topics, and maybe that's what make him great. But you can't get nobody wrong if he come in and sing. Imagine I going out somewhere and they're saying all them black people is thief and all them wicked kill people, and I don't like. I would not pay my money to go anywhere there. But anyway, the judge went on to say, unfortunately, and for far too long, divisive content and lyrics which fuel racial tensions or attack portions of the population have been performed at Calypso tents and national competitions. This has not augured well for the viability of the art form. And as a likely result, Calypso tents are now virtually empty. The judge, why is the judge talking about this? Hold on, what does this have to do with this particular ruling? Anyway, Mr. Constant, an expert in the Calypso art form who was brought as witness by Rollins, further opined during his testimony that poor attendance has to do with the music and people wanting something different, and he may be correct insofar as significant members of the society may be withholding their support so as to signal to Calypsonians they want deep and thoughtful social commentary, as was seen in the works of Chalk Dust, Merchant, David Rudder, or witty, satirical, and humorous contributions delivered by people like Mighty Sparrow and Funny. But they will likely reject material which ridicules or seeks to mock or marginalize them. He added that Trinidad and Tobago has evolved into a plural multidimensional, it wasn't always that, a plural multidimensional space, and every effort has to be made to foster, encourage, and develop inclusivity and a national identity which is all-encompassing and accommodating. There's power in the pen and there's power in cultural expressions, but Calypsonians have to realize that there's also power in the purse, and people will be disciplined to part with their money. Will be disinclined to part with their money if they are ridiculed or subject to scorn and contempt. Justice Sipasad said that there was evident malice on the part of Rollins when he embarked upon a scathing and caustic personal attack, which impunged Ishmael's honesty and integrity. He mounted a vicious and venomous attack, and these words were plainly and obviously defamatory. A person's reputation is not a tradable commodity, but it is a prized possession. It is carefully fashioned over one's lifetime and must be jealously guarded. It is reprehensible for a Calypsonian to use the art form to defile a person's reputation without justification. And this manner of ruthless and reckless engagement cannot be condoned. Now, I have a few things to say about this, right? First and foremost, I am also of the belief that Cro Cro is going a little too far. And there have some things that, as an artist, I wouldn't say, or I wouldn't really pass judgment on what you say. I feel as an artist on the stage, or if I had my way and I could pass laws in this country, you see, just like it was a parliamentary privilege, it will have Calypso tent privilege and stage privilege, because the stage is the stage and it's an act. It is not an accusation. If I stand up on stage as a comedian, as a calypsonian, as a soca artist, as a MC, whatever, it is an act. So I'll give you an example, right? This podcast is an act. Some of the things I would say here, I say it because it's funny. I ain't saying it because it's true, or it's because of genuinely how I feel. When I come here to talk about, let me say, what's the oldest issue you're talking about this week? I didn't even know what was the oldest issue, but sometimes when I come to record on a Sunday or Monday, right, I talk about something that passed a week and a half ago. I had to now see what everybody else say about that thing, and not come and just regurgitate what everybody else say. I try to listen to as much as what happened in his space. I mean, I try to understand, okay, what the Express say, what this one say, what the other podcasts say, what the YouTubers say, what's going on TikTok. And I had to try and come up with something unique. This is an act. It's not real. It's you understand? So, and it is designed to be humorous. If it's designed to be humorous, every now and again I will say something that not funny and it will be offensive and whatever it is. I will say on the flip side of it that by choice and by design, I do not want to sit down here and attack nobody's character. I don't like it. I don't feel comfortable. If I say something and I find it sound too harsh or it sound too direct to somebody, or it could be offensive or hurt somebody or their family or their loved ones, I start over. You know, much of the episode here, I delete whole part of episode and start over, or start over the whole episode because I don't like our song. I try to put myself in the position of the person who might hear this. So from somebody that don't know, who not qualified, half the topics I talk about here, I'm not qualified to talk. I'm not qualified to talk about Calypso. These people who I talk about is true Calypsonian. That's what them do for a living. And historian and real performers and politicians and business people. I'm not qualified to talk about any of them. So I always try to put myself in that person's shoes. And also I don't have 250. I have it. I don't understand a lawyer friend. And nobody I could call for no favor. So I just try my best not to put out anything that could be libelous or anything, but I'm not driven by the fear of being sued. I'm driven by who I am and what I could sleep comfortable with putting out. I don't want to say nothing about nobody. I just use a big teeth. I try not to make statements like those. And if I make any statement like that, I offend anybody, I quick to apologize. I don't know what that is. So as a judge and as somebody, if somebody was to sing a song like that about me and I feel offended or I feel like it caused me to harm. Let me say, you say them things about me now, nobody listening to my podcast no more, or my business starts to suffer. I should have all right to take you to the court and let a third party decide, because taking it to court is just adjudication, right? I just getting a neutral party to decide on whether I went too far or not. And it is my opinion that Cro Cro goes too far. A lot of the times he's go too far. And even if he go in attack mode, if you know you're going in attack mode, he's alright. So you could design the song differently and not say certain things, because you're even at your best case scenario is that you're leaving yourself exposed for situations like this unnecessarily, because some of these songs that Cro Cro is call people name and sing the worst thing. It have a song where like I remember playing it and singing what the backup singers had to sing when Cro Cro singing. The song not even good. It's not a good song. It's not entertaining. It's not funny. It's not nuanced. It's not clever. It's just an attack. It's almost like you want to go and tell Inshana, hey, big teeth Inshana Shmel, but you know you can't say that, so you put it in a song and you hide it in the most unclever way. I could play a piece of it. I wonder if Inshan go sue me. Or they don't go and play this for Inshan and tell him I play it. But they sue cut and they ain't get through. So assuming that they care, he ain't gonna sue nobody who just playing the song. I playing the song for research purposes, because I can understand where people would feel aggrieved if a Calypsonian could be sued for something on the stage. But I feel like people will feel that way until they hear the actual song. You want a slice?
It's we that wine in time when you shot me sing. That's why I'm good, because Ishmael don't have a heart. It's we who don't line up by all your dumbest cat. So after that, Ishmael, where the hell wrong with you? It's we that buy a stolen car parts and the bamboo. And even they're trying to destroy this fella here. Oh Lord, Ishmael, boy, you can't hardly feel. Why? Because they feel like they're rich. They find it a ditch. The boys in a stitch. It's great, they're rich. Before you could destroy this black boy just so, all you should not be living in Trinbago. See, the men that was wrong, they put the black man to the ground. That's why he did with a song. But before I go, conscious people help me sing this with friend. Another sad marriage is outside again. Total disrespect. They put the man up to the head, but the boy check. So the guy must respect. Conscious people sing me the same refrain. Another sad marriage is outside again.
So if you ain't hear the level, I don't know if Cro Cro had no respect for how much words supposed to go in a line. That would have should have sued him for, because a line can only hold a certain amount of words. Cro Cro. That would have should have really sued him for. But if you ain't hear the song right, the opening song for the thing is we just line up for all the doubles on Sahina. When you say that, you can't, let me just say you can't. I wouldn't make a song like that. That is very divisive. Who is the we? And who is the all your Sahina and doubles and thing? That's them kind of statements and thing I feel is why the country is run. So, you know what I mean? I find it vile. The next line in the song is we who does wine to all your chutney, wine in time to all your chutney song. You understand? So, I mean, what do you mean by that? What do you mean? Who is we who does wine in time? And who we're saying that have people who don't wine in time? We're saying that for. So again, the moral of his song is a next Satmaraj again, right? And if I play the songs he sing about Satmaraj, I'm surprised he didn't have no settlement for Satmaraj. I know if the Sipasad was not wrong then to pass the judgment. But it's crude and it's bad and it's vile. And I'm stopping just short of saying that it's a right thing for a judge to make or pass judgment against somebody to have to pay that money for defamation when you're on a stage, right? I still believe a stage is an act. I just don't know why Cro Cro has put himself in these positions to have to pay these kind of money to people by, number one, singing very divisive songs that I don't think will help anybody in any way, but also by not trying to hide it in any clever way and make it entertaining and nice. Because all you're doing is fueling people who have these kind of thoughts. I don't see it as much different from Donald Trump coming up and always saying, "Make America great again." In other words, you're taking the closed door, what they call it, dinner table conversation in sociology, right? You're taking that and you understand what that is, and you're bringing a forum or a space now to empower people who think like that, who say, it's we who just buy out all the doubles and Sahina and thing, and it's we who just come there and buy all those teeth parts in the bamboo. Why are you saying that? What are you saying that for? What is the purpose of that? Where that getting us as an art form? What that doing for you as one of the greatest Calypsonians of all time? I wonder a lot. Why would you put your legacy through that? But again, his legacy is probably that, because I'm struggling to find a lot of songs where he was very clever and had double entendre. Not everyone great songs, but he just not hiding what he's trying to say. I also want to go a little step further, being very careful too, because I don't have no 250, to say that once they put you in front Indian magistrates who would have felt the same way about Calypso, and probably in his dinner time conversations would be the statement that we ain't paying money for people to insult. That is a statement that is made in that community. So the fact that you put it, you're done there already. I don't know if you was ever coming out of this and scared. But having said all that, I do find it a little bit strange, and I don't know how the law is work and how judges is work and thing. I do find it strange that if Justice Sipasad had the time, judges are busy, man, there's some of the highest hourly rates have in the country is magistrates and judge, right? If he had the time to not just pass judgment on this particular Calypso and this case, to say that you defame the man character, pay the man X. You can't go and say the man is a thief, the man is a businessman. If you put that out there, it could affect his business. You're lucky to get away with 250. Next case, because we're busy. But you, Sipasad, find the time to talk about Calypso lyrics being divisive and why people don't come back to the tent and spend the money. You had the time to talk about all this. And you went as far as to say, that is why the attendance poor, because they're singing against me and all that kind of thing. And you went on to talk about things like this. I find that to be very interesting. And I wonder if it's the Express miss it with the part where you talk about the fact that Inch and Ishmael do that every day on what was the name of his TV, his radio or TV program or something. He's do that all the time. There's a big what is sue Cro, and I'm not saying he should not sue Cro Cro and he should not win, right? That is an isolated incident. But what I'm saying is he was on TV talking about people all the time, calling people by their whole name, calling politicians all kind of the worst of things and saying the worst of things about people. So it strikes me as a little bit strange that in all this time to talk about what Calypso's was like, and you know what I mean, why the Calypso thing and not going so good, and that's why I find it strange that no time just to see, but you know, Frank, you have no time to say, well, Sean, you should go easy on a night too, you know, because the way you talk about people. But I suppose that is a nice place, and it's a place of people who we talk about in defamatory ways. Defamatory? How you say that? To sue them. And that happening all the time. I realize this suing thing is a big part of the country and the way we operate and the way we live. We like to keep lawyers busy, and it's a good way to make some money. I feel that, you know what I mean? You could invest in the suing business to move forward a little further in this country, you know what I mean? I just found it very, very weird, because now you're on a TV program saying, but anyway, let me move on. I don't want to set up problems. Now, did I call anybody name? I would like to apologize in advance to anybody name who I call, and just remember that this is all I act. This is all I act. I don't mean anything. I don't mean anything I say here. Let me move on. What is that about? Let me get far away from these kind of things, right? As we're talking about controversial topics and lawyers, right? I could jump into our next controversial topic, back to back here. Don't come and talk those sort of heavy talking. I just want to browse through a topic quick about Paria and their judgments, right? So, attorneys calling, and led by Prakash Ramada, it seems. Attorney Prakash Ramada has called on state-owned Paria Fuel Trading Company to make an ex gratia payment of at least $5 million to each of the families of Faisal Kurbon, Kazim Ali Jr., Yusuf Henry, and Rishi Nagasar, the 4 divers who lost their lives in a pipeline incident in Paria 2022. So we've reached the point where we sort of wrapped up and handed over the commission of inquiry. And we are grateful for that. Thank God that is over. I'm not sure, but I'm saying it's over, right? I'm not sure if they have more of that to come, but it looked like the end of that. And they still have to go through now what the payments will be and what the settlements will be, right? But it's interesting to see, like I was looking online the other day about just reading into that case, or the commissioner inquiry, sorry. And it was just a little interesting to see the fact that LMCS seems to have been completely absolved from anything where this case concerns. The point where Prakash Ramada is calling for Paria to pay $5 million, but the name LMCS seems to be completely out of the loop here. And when you read up onto what happened in the commissioner inquiry, there are several points along the way with the commissioner inquiry where it seemed to be that LMCS had some part to play in why this tragedy would have happened. But lawyers always say sue the bigger name anything, right? So, I mean, I am hoping that these people get the settlements that I don't know what they deserve and what will make them. It's not nothing can make you happy, a loss your loved one and so on, but I have no objection to them getting, as Prakash Ramada say, at minimum $5 million or whatsoever the thing is, because it couldn't be worse. And it's clear that in a lot of ways Paria was at fault. Question remains, what portion of that LMCS will pay, or is it just bearing on taxpayers? But then again, I ain't come here for all that. I really come here for Kaiso. I never fella named Snakey who have a song for 2024. You want a little slice?
It's about time you know thyself.
So that 2 songs about Calypso in the competition then?
Rooted in tradition of West African slaves, brought to the Caribbean in early bitter days. It could have gone other ways, but the father said Trinidad is Calypso birthplace. Yes, it was the newspapers of the day. To say what you couldn't say when the mass are beating the tongue. We took our revenge in song, and we toiled and we wait till 1838. Now when the island developed the own unique style, special identity with a steel band drum and a Congo beat, lyrics and song and melody. I know our future will be great, our potential is in. I am Calypso, them we love Calypso. Now, get up. Ooh. Oh, now. Tell them I am Calypso, them we love Calypso. By mighty sparrow is such a golden tool. Calypso. No, 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 no. Rio, big up all Kaiso. Rio, love it string band. Tell them I am Calypso. On them, we love Calypso. No, 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 no. Take a walk in your garden and encounter Calypso Rose. You'll be hypnotized and mesmerized by the music that she composed. First ever Calypso queen. In France she got a Grammy. Still performs after 8 each. See, or you can visit our Calypso school. You can do a course with Dr. Hollis Liverpool. The most ever Calypso crown.
Yes.
When the hit Savannah is pong. Excellence from the start. True master of the art. Now every island develop their own unique style. Special identity with Merlin Tate and Belafonte, who paved the way for we mother. Your kids are doing fine. This can only come from one divine. Wake up. We are beautiful.
He told me he didn't have any. I said, well, I will call you Lord Kitchener.
Get up. I am Calypso. All them, we love Calypso. No, 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 no. Get up. Rumba dabba ding day. We are beautiful. Shake up. Rumba dabba ding day. We are wonderful. Get up. I am Calypso. All them, we love Calypso.
I could go back to the next song about Calypso in the competition. So I play a few of all already, right? I just want to do all your own judging here. Because that Snaky song is about Calypso. I don't know about you, but moving things inside me. Right? Pause. Could I play the other song about Calypso here for you?
On around 1974, to a mother named Calypso, Junior appeared to be so much more. Over the years he began to grow, but like his grandfather Pacalinda and grandmammy Sweet Cariso, the family traits of little boy soca could I never hide me just so. He is the head of the fetting class,
Yes.
heart of the carnival. He's the jumping legs in the mass, the waistline causing bacchanal. A mother's child feet just cannot hide, and this everybody know. If you look real deep down inside, soca is the soul of Calypso. Let me hear you. Calypso is soca, and soca is Calypso.
Nice.
Sister Chutney and brother Raga, also born here in Trinbago.
Yes.
So you don't have to look no further. I'm sure everybody don't know. If one spirit in child and mother, soca in the soul of Calypso.
And then the chorus, ramba damba damba dam, bidi bidi me damba damba, harbi damba damba dambola, bidi 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 damba. I hope you get all wrong the daughters to sing back up for a minute, but again, you judge it for yourself. Again, Marshall's song good. All you go come and say me a city man song good, you know. But when you compare the other song about Calypso, I would be quite surprised to see Snaky not in a final with a song like that. We don't know Marshall in the final already, right? Going on, moving on, further afield. Calls for leveling playing field as Chutney Monarch spots drawn. You remember I was talking about the Chutney Monarch last week? I was in the barber shop talking about this last week, right? And I had to tell the barber and them and another customer, I tell them multiple times. I say, hey, Chutney Monarch is $2 million, not Chutney Soca Monarch. The Chutney Monarch is $2 million they winning, right? Because they keep going back to, well, people is saying and they drink their rum and people go down there early. I said, no. All they still talking about Chutney Soca Monarch. I'm talking about the Chutney Monarch. So I'm going to read something here. And I was saying up front that I'm in full agreement with these statements, right? I like these guys a lot. So this is Shastri Budan from The Guardian. The stage is set for the upcoming inaugural Senior Intellectual Chutney Monarch and the Traditional Chutney Monarch competitions. Winners are set to walk away with $2 million in prize money. On Monday, the contestants drew for spots in which they would be performing their song of choice for the judges. The event took place at the Passage to Asia restaurant in Shogunas. However, the event was not without controversy. Dr. Vijay Ramlal Roadi, head of the National Chutney Foundation, of which I get to like a lot, said these other similar competitions are funded by the state and offer nothing when it comes to national development and inspiration to young people. He said the decision by the state to sponsor competitions that promote chutney songs that propagate the consumption of alcohol was a waste of taxpayers' dollars and a travesty. I support him 100%. And before I read further, the reason I support this is because my philosophy always is, as a nation, we had to make a decision as to where we want to be. Vision 2020, where it is now, Vision 2060, wherever it is. We need to make a decision as to where it needs to be. And then decide on how taxpayers' dollars should be invested to help us get along that path. So if it is that things that, again, mightn't be commercially viable to the masses or whatsoever they are, but we know that is where we want to be in the long run, government funds must go into that. Let me forget the culture, right? Let me simplify it to oil and gas. Government funds going into Point Lisas or Chatham or wherever the developments are so that we can attract certain industries makes sense. If that is the industries we want to get into and those industries have long-term viability for the betterment of the financial welfare of the country or something. Something like replace Rowley when you retire. You had to decide that up front, like where you want to go, and then you could decide on, all right, well, I will invest to suit where's my direction, right? But we don't seem to want to do that. We don't seem to want to sit down and share a vision and come together and decide, okay, this is where we want to be. We're more interested in who could take us there or not and who could get their hands on the coffers, right? So to make sure that them meet their own personal vision, right? Any one of the two-party chromatic sing about, they're more interested in them personal individual vision than the vision of the country. So I agree with what my guy, Mr. Ramlal Rai, Dr. Vijay Ramlal Rai saying here, because if this is what we want for youth, the rum and the consumption of alcohol, you know what I mean? And we want to say the rum in the... Because what he's talking about here is the chutney soca monarch, right? Let's be real. That's what he's talking about. In other words, if you stop giving money to things that are not progressive to our culture or progressive to the youths or let me not say it like that, right? I want to say it's not in alignment with our vision and our goal for where we want to be as a country. That means things like Chutney Monarch, if that is in alignment with your vision as a country, could get plenty more than $2 million in prize money. You understand where I'm going? Or plenty more investment to make it a globally viable. Because the number one stream song in this country by any artist is a song by the name of the prolific artist Dwayne Bravo by the name of Champion. It is the most popular song in the history of Trinidad and Tobago because the Indian market pick it up, right? So if you say, all right, well, what we want to develop is develop our skill in chutney so that the Indian market start paying attention to us. And now I have 1 billion people listening to our bajans or the things that we come up with here. That must be a decision that we make as a country. Sell it to the Indian market. So what we could do is help fund producers to go to UTT to learn to produce, singers to go to voice training, videographers to do the things, streaming and technology people so that we could get to the Indian market. I can work with the XM people, whoever the expert import people is or ambassador to India to say, all right, well, every year we want to come with a mission so that we bring all the chutney artists by us to come to your biggest chutney festivals, promote them and invest. So $2 million not going to do that. $2 million are a drop in the bucket. But if we keep wasting money behind things that are not in alignment with where we want to go, we ain't going to reach nowhere. But I fear Dr. Vijay that we don't know where we want to go. Let me go ahead and read what he say, right? He said nobody should ever get $2 million for singing rum and water in a national competition. None. I agree with him 100%. Ever since we were objecting to that, that's taxpayers' money. You can't represent Trinidad with that. You cannot represent Trinidad by going and saying, your neighbor do this with the cat and the dog. I say so. He said, come on. It's time these things have to change. And I want to be clear here. I find man should sing as much rum song as they want. Because again, my favorite song, just in case we forget, is every time I take a drink, I feel like whining. I proved that Saturday too, you know. Oh, cause every time I take a shot, I feel like grinding. I tell you, that's my favorite song. But I don't believe that we should incentivize Nadia Batson to sing a song like that for $2 million worth of my money. I will take my own personal money and pay whatever Bobby and them charge me to go and see Nadia Batson sing that. Or when Nadia Batson have her art form show, I go take my personal money now. Right? The balance, what the government leave me with after they take the 25% plus. And let me go and sing rum song and listen to rum song because I like song and I like rum. My personal choice. Taxpayers' money should never be going towards somebody who come in and sing 20 verse worth of rum song for the whole night and rum till I die. That could never be progressive. Again, let me just say that because if that is where we want to end up as a nation, then that is what we should be funded. But let me go on. He said better than me. He a doctor, you know, as an apprentice. He say, you can't represent Trinidad with that. You can't represent Trinidad by going and say what the neighbor and the dog do with this and do with the cat and the dog. Come on. It's time these things have to change. We're not saying don't sing in an all-inclusive fed, but you cannot sing that in a national competition where government is pumping money for you to do that nonsense. I like how the man talk. Ramlal Rai said that he has been getting complaints from all sectors about the state-run chutney. He said the state rum chutney. The state rum chutney has degenerated into. He said NCFTT was not getting any sponsorship from the government for the upcoming contest, but from private sector, while the competing power was getting the state sponsorship, even though the NCFTT was incorporated through an act of parliament. The the National Chutney Foundation, right? The head also noted that Anthony Batson would be the only contestant that would be allowed to participate in both competitions, since Batson was the first winner of the school's intellectual chutney when that competition was inaugurated many years ago. Wendell Eversley, the vice president of NCFTT, is asking how much money the government was given to cultural organizations in TNT. He said, I'm going to file under the Freedom of Information Act and ask the Minister of Culture and Government to outline all the monies given to the organizations where Canaval is concerned. He said the time has come where the playing field must be level. If we're talking about culture, it must be culture across TNT. I agree with this fellas 100%. 100% I agree with it. If it is the chutney competition is in alignment with what we have as a vision, they need more money. 2 million and go do the trick. And you see where Dr. Vijay, if I had a vote for my taxpayers, I want my whole 25% to go to Dr. Vijay. I like him a lot. So I will be looking forward to when they do this Freedom of Information Act filing, I must find out how to do these kind of things. Because it will be great to be able to see what kind of money went to competitions across the country and see how much of it is really just for political gain and mileage and to pacify this one and that one, and how much of it really seems to be a concerted effort to get somewhere as a people. We go pay eye on that, right? We keep an eye on that. But salute to Dr. Vijay Ramlal Rai. One of my heroes for sure. Now, as we talk about Freedom of Information Act, right? I want to touch on a few things before I start to run out of here, right? I have a special Calypso to play for you here before I go to. But it has some people, when you read news, you see them every single week, right? Every single week. I had to try my best not to come here and Rowley Kamla up the whole podcast every episode. But they have some names you don't see often, and Jack Warner is one of them. And all of a sudden, I see Jack Warner, just like how Wendell Eversley wants a Freedom of Information Act to find out how much money went to everybody. I'm interested in that too. Jack Warner wants info on fees paid by the states in extradition. Out of the blue. Former FIFA Vice President Jack Warner wants to know how much money was spent to hire attorneys to extradite him to the U.S., where he faces 29 charges of fraud, corruption, and money laundering when he was Vice President of football's world governing body. Warner is now challenging the Permanent Secretary of the Office of the Attorney General for failing to disclose all invoices, fee requisitions, and payments to all barristers, solicitors, and attorneys in ongoing proceedings against him. His claim was filed in December last year and was set for the first hearing on March 13 by Justice Karen Reed. So, I don't know, Jack basically say, I want to know every cent all you spend on this extradition thing. So, I don't know. What do you think he need that information for, boy? Jack must be waiting for that information to see if he could outbid them. It must be it could be a bidding competition he looking at. He say, well, boy, if all you only spend 50 million. Let me see how much I could spend to get all it to turn a blind eye. You know what I mean? Chutney need funding. Soca Monarch need funding. They man no Soca Monarch. While we collect that extra cracker from Jack and see if we could bolster the competition. See if all the competitions could come off. I could do it seeing imagine between Shaq, Snakey, Karinache, imagine one of them walk with that 2 million for the Calypso man. If Calypso is supposed to be the foundation of what we're doing as a culture, that price can be so small, but that price is 500,000 something, ain't right? But this story have nothing to do with Jack, right? These two things unrelated. But rest in peace to Ish Galbaransingh. Rest in peace to this. I see it on Ian Allen saying Ish Galbaransingh has died. This was confirmed in a WhatsApp message circulated by his wife. This is Cheryl, Ish's wife. I'm deeply saddened to announce the passing of my beloved husband, Ish Galbaransingh, who passed away peacefully today after a 4-year fight with cancer. You all know him as a fighter, but the battle ended today. We'll update you all further on the next step as we are out of the country. Who out of the country? Oh, they were out of the country. Okay, I got you. They were out of the country. So that this unrelated to the Jack Warner situation, right? But I fear for Jack Warner, without trying to be insensitive to the great Ish Galbaransingh. I fear that Jack, it's only a 2 ways out of this situation. You know, it's only a 2 ways out of this situation. You could go and get as much information as you want about who spend money on what and them kind of thing, but. Sorry to tell you. Let me don't joke about that, right? Let me don't joke about that. I have one more thing to talk about here, which it grinds my gears. Can I say that? This has bothered me very, 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 very much. Bothers me. I don't understand it. I want to read something for you from Britain's news channel, Great Britain's news channel, right? The headline of this says, British Museum agrees to loan Ghana artifacts in controversial returns deal. So, let me read, right? Some of the crown jewels of Ghana. Let me take my time and read it. Some of the crown jewels of Ghana are to be loaned to the African country after British troops raided the palaces of Asante kings. The British Museum and Victoria and Albert Museum will return 32 pieces of Asante gold as a part of a 3-year loan arrangement with the option to extend it a further 3 years. The controversial deal has sparked concern that the decision could open opportunity for full returns of artifacts. It is also believed that the loan could pave the way for other controversial items, such as the Elgin marbles, to be returned to the places from which they were taken. Among the items set to be returned to Ghana are, I should have practiced reading this before, Mpomponsio sword, traditionally used by Asante kings to swear an oath, and a small gold lute ornament gifted to a British diplomat when relations were good in 1817. The Asante gold is said to be returned to Otumfo Osei Tutu II, the current king of Asante, and not the Ghanaian government. So the worrying thing about articles like these, right, is that when you read these articles from the perspective of the British versus the perspective of the, I don't even want to call them colonies, the perspective of people like us, right? Who there was pillage, plunder, and rape, and they just rape the soil, the people, everything, and take everything that they could take. And now they are loaning back. So these are items that were stolen from the Ghanaian people, right? The Ashanti tribe. And now they working out a loan deal. So when you read the British articles about this, do you know what is the biggest issue with this? I understand what you think the issue is here. You think the issue is that all you thief these things and all they come in to tell you about loan it back. I just want to highlight here that when you read the British version of these articles, what it says is, should we be loaning this back? And if we loan this back, are we setting up ourselves never to get back our things? I just want to see different perspectives. So this is from now Artnet, another website I was pulling up here. So that's to deal with things like art and artifacts and so on. Is the loan of cultural relics to the countries of origin a substitute for permanent restitution? The UK's British Museums and V&A are returning 32 looted gold treasures to Ghana under a long-term loan agreement. These pieces of court regalia include a ceremonial cap, a sword of state was stolen from the royal palace of Kumasi by British troops during the Anglo-Ashanti Wars of the 19th century. A formal request for their return was made 50 years ago in 1974, and this call was renewed last year. A more permanent restitution plan would not currently be possible under UK law. The long-term loan model is a controversial substitute. However, because these agreements perpetuate the idea that the UK rightfully owns the contested cultural objects in question and therefore has the right to loan them to other countries of origin. It is for this reason that the Greek government has repeatedly rejected the prospect of being loaned the Parthenon marbles. So, to break it down, right? People in the art world, in the world of museums and artifacts and so on, they're a little worried about this arrangement and if the Ashanti tribe should sign this at all, because they're saying that signing on to a loan agreement might be signing away your ability to say that this was yours in the first place. It might be some kind of acceptance that this belongs to them and we borrowing it. Now, if I know the Ashanti people well enough, you know what I mean, and they're anything like Trinis, I would have signed the thing and then tell you, well, come back for it now. Pass for it when you're ready. Just remember that the UK have a law that says that they cannot return these things. It's against the law for them to do. So they say a restitution plan basically is against the UK law. So keep that in mind, right? They said what sets this partnership apart is that it was formed not with the Ghana's government but with the Ashanti king. Otumfuo say Tutu the second. I think he's the fellow who was here, right? Who has a ceremonial role but is highly influential and revered within Ghana's Ashanti region. He attended King Charles's third coronation last year. The loan objects will go on display at the Manya Palace Museum in Kumasi, which reopens in April to commemorate 25 years of Osei Tutu's second return. So it's something to keep an eye on, because this is when people want to talk about reparations and things, and they say, well, or people like to say forget slavery, that don't pass and things. These are some of the things that we must never forget and never walk away from, if you ask me, right? We must always know that this is what was done. The birthright and the things that make us who we are, and not just the traditions, but our wealth was completely stolen. And now, even in modern times now, the people who benefit from this wealth the most are the people who like to jump up and talk about, that time passed, or let's still talk about slavery, and there's the get up and get people who like to talk about things like that. So I always worry about things like this, and we must be conscious of these types of things, because the talk about reparations, it makes me feel as if we will see that in our lifetime. I'm not sure if they work out what it will look like and so on, but a good starting point would be to change all the laws and return the things that all you rightfully know all you stole. All you keeping those things there for all your benefit, because that benefits your tourism. Because I myself went to London Museum to watch Rosetta Stone and to watch this and that. And if I want to know about Ghana and want to understand the history and the wealth of Ghana and the traditions, is it that London is the place to go to find out that? That's why I'm glad West Indies beat people, West Indies beat Australia in a test series recently, right? They draw the first one and they win the first one. Salute to Shama Joseph, Guyanese, you know what I mean? He destroyed the Australians. And the significance of West Indies as a team. Now, I stop watch West Indies because I can't take the gold chain brigade. So it's good to see these youths and them in a set of gold chain, right? The gold chain brigade and the halfway effort thing, I just can't take too much. But it's in West Indies cricket is an important part of what we are as West Indies, because it's all we are beating up on these people, you know what I mean? Legally through a sport, they go change the laws and all them kind of things. But we must always live in a world where West Indies cricket is dominant and on top. But we have a small region that we have so much that was taken away from us, and so much we set back in so many ways, from our agriculture to mining. Everything that we own still belong to these people. It's only British gas and British petroleum and British, you understand? Everything we have still owned by these people. I feel it's important for Guyanese to go and lick down every wicket in these people and them countries. So I can't wait for the World Cup to come around, or whatever series we have next for we to go. We must go just like how we take it in the Gabba. We must go back England, take the Ashes, take everywhere, go Lords and beat. I want somebody from Guyana, because Guyana have the biggest oil boom now. that not being controlled by them. It's still owned by the exons of this world and the British coming in to take that. So our sovereignty and wealth is controlled by these people, and now they're starting to tell me about what they could loan me back and all these kind of things. But I mean, why are they talk about all this for when we are Calypsos to tell this story? This is great. The great Chucky Gordon to tell me this story by Calypso.
Hello, Jazzy. I want it now.
A jiggy Calypso. King Charlesy. We want it. People just borrow and do as they may.
As they
Causing you sorrow along the way.
all who feel they take and get away.
Is the children going to pay? Hey, hey. Oh, what a thing, Charlesy, to be King Charlesy. I'm sure you got to rejoice and sing.
Oh, yeah.
Now that you done celebrate, there's something that cannot wait. Give me what you have for me. Give me what you have. Your dear mother passing left many in tears, but her passing also left you in a rest. Charlesy, give me what you have for me. Give me what you have for me. Give me what you have for me. Give me what you have. Because you must take a boss in the old land. Split up India and Pakistan. Steal the people of unrest of faith. Lives you take and you take. Charlesy, the people in India balling. Charlesy, you must make it right somehow. Charlesy, for reparations they calling. Charlesy, give them something new. Well, the people, we want to be wanted, we wanted. We want to be wanted, we wanted. We want to be wanted, we wanted. No, no, no. Well, the people, we want to be wanted, we wanted. We want to be wanted, we wanted. We want to be wanted, we wanted. No, no, no. Oh, what a thing, Charlesy, to be King Charlesy. The whole world contribute to your bling.
Oh, yeah.
Now you want your golden coach, I must submit my reproach. Give me what you have for me. Give me what you have. You turn humans into products of your trade. After slavery is the slave masters you paid. Sort out yourself. Give me what you have for me.
Give it back to Ashanti.
Give me what you have for me. Give me what you have. Because you take where we culture for speed we hit. Make we slave all day on estates. Take resource I drain we pitch lake. You take and you take. Charlesy, half of the Caribbean balling. Charlesy, look we in Trinbago too. Charlesy, colonialism appalling. Charlesy, you know what to do. Start to defend them coffers. We want to be wanted, we wanted. We want to be wanted, we wanted. We want to be wanted, we wanted. No, no, no. Well, the people, we want to be wanted, we wanted. We want to be wanted, we wanted. We want to be wanted, we wanted. No, no, no. All the suppressing natives all in Canada.
Give me something.
You distress the kiki you down in Kenya.
Give me something.
Then you introduce bricks to Malaysia.
Give me something.
Then you try to pretend you was the savior.
Give me something.
Charlesy,
We want to be wanted, we wanted. Give me. We want to be wanted, we wanted. No, no,
Give it. We wanted. Calypso is soca, and soca is Calypso. And if he be Chucky, I really don't know. Papaya. I'll even only one by the great Calypso Night, Myron B. Big song again. So I don't know how much space it have any final for everybody. What they got? 10 to 12 spaces. I ain't sure. They are looking around to see what it is, how much final spots it have, and I ain't seen it. But Tazia won, and we don't know Marshall won already. Why waiting for his Sunday after the next to see if they're going to really make Marshall Calypso king over some of these songs here, including this one by the great Myron B.
Trinidad, full of creative innovation that is born in protest to adversity. Take a look at Calypso, it is how we let the leaders know what is right and wrong with society. In Trinidad, we see a new revolution where the youth in the ghetto has found a voice, pulsating on a dancehall beat, reflecting realities of the street in a way that has caused some problems today. Now these are the youths who have seen so much neglect and rejection in communities, viewed as a stain in our nation. Our reality filled with gang wars and depression that turn some are weak to channels of death and destruction. Now the sound clash in the dance hall is not like before, where the rivals used to have just a lyrical war. So many young talent going down the drain as they get caught up in a numbers game that's insane and is now a runaway train. Tell me why 1, 2, 3 mothers had to born when 4 and 5 of the children born. Just because 6 young men with no fear means 7 others who just don't care. And if they have no sound clash at all, it's only gun smoke in the dance hall. Then 1, 2, 3 police reach the scene, and 4 and 5 neighbors intervene. And out of 6 witnesses who dare, 7 said MSC or here. And if they can't arrest none at all, there will always be gun smoke in the dance hall. Every child need good guidance and direction as they grow to contribute to society. When both parents are inside and everything going all right, there will be only positive signs to see. But if the home is somewhat unsettled and broken, daddy not there while mommy struggling to provide. Hungry days and sleepless nights, discipline problems and school fights will be signs of a societal decline. In the early 20s, in the midst of frustration, the youth start a vibe to spread reggae love across the nation with songs that designed to motivate and inspire. And when there was war, they tried to out every fire, but despite their best efforts, it didn't work out, you know. Cause we leaders don't hear the voices in the ghetto. A generation was coming up real vile when Mr. King tried to sing badness out of style. Now it's sealed, and who didn't hear will feel. This is why 1, 2, 3 mothers have to fall when 4 and 5 of the children born. Just because 6 young men from over here sing about 7 others who can't pass there, and they're taking peacock at all, so is gun smoke in the dance hall. If 1, 2, 3 activists plead to bring 4 or 5 new programs for we, and 6 social services don't care, and 7 others just here coming here, you wouldn't see no recourse at all to stop the gun smoke in the dance hall.
Well, you have a safe week, you know, have a safe week. Enjoy the Calypso Fiesta, enjoy the fete. Weekend before Canaval is this weekend, and also enjoy it. We're running into a season of fete after fete after fete after fete. And salute to all the fresh waters who here enjoy the time, fresh waters. Carry back good news about we, you know. All the fresh waters who come in and then go back and say, all they didn't get no crime, all everything was nice and Trinidad, really nice, make the place good again. But I'll leave in all over that one. I wanted just before I go, thank all the Calypsonians who in that 41 in the end, right? We could make a little pick on and make a little laugh and joke, right? But that ain't easy to accomplish. And I just want to show appreciation for the quality of the recordings that I was able to find on YouTube and Apple Music and Spotify, these recordings. As sometimes when I want to play an episode with Calypso alone, sometimes the quality of the recording is be off. And not just the recording, sometimes the production itself. Like it's a song like it far from real music. Everything is sung very like a demo. Sometimes man do a little demo track and put up, and I don't like the quality yet. So salute to everybody. All the songs I played this week and many more. It was hard to choose from. This will be a big Calypso Fiesta and a very big Calypso Monarch because the competition will be tight. All joke aside and thing. This is one of the better years for Calypso overall. But anyway, I go on. I will see you all next week. Bye.